Well, good morning, Beth-El Tzedek, Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to our Shabbat Chants Encounters. Happy to be with you this morning and hoping that you are off to a wonderful Shabbat so far, and sure that you've learned wonderful things already with Rabbi Jenny, to those who were able to join her with Torah Talk. So we'll get started in just a little bit. We are going to get started as normal with our resources. So if you are not there already, you can go to our website, as always, bez613.org, and get your resources ready. Boker Tov, Boker Or, Shabbat Shalom. Seeing all of my comments come in. Hi, everybody. And you can get all set up there with all of the resources. As usual, under Chants Encounters, you'll see the source sheets for today that we will use specifically, which will have today's Torah portion and Maftir, as well as the Haftarah, and it's just going to have exactly what we'll be reading today. But if you have a Chumash at home, I'll give you those verses as well. And if you have your own copy of Sidor Lev Shalem, great. If not, then you'll be able to find the PDF online version as well on our website under the resources. So again, if you're not there already, go ahead and either open another window or go to another device and go ahead and get those ready so that we can begin this morning. And we are going to get started. So I'm going to begin in our Sidor this morning on page 103 with our series of morning blessings, and these are called the Birchot HaShachar. They mean morning blessings. These are blessings for a new day, and they help bring us closer to what we need to know we should be grateful for. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the frivolous and in things that are unimportant, and we need to be reminded as to what keeps us going every day. And these blessings are really a good, solid reminder to get our footing for a new day. And if you go ahead and look to the left side of the book with the translation, you'll see that these are really solid foundational blessings that remind us of what is important in our lives, and especially during times like this, it's just a really great reminder. And I want you to, and the reason why I'm speaking about these in particular this morning like this, is I want you to keep them in mind as a good kavanah, as a good intention and focus for the Torah portion that we're going to be reading and focusing on in just a little while. So particularly looking at the second page of these brachot on page 104, if you look at the second bracha here where it says, Zokef kefufim, who straightens those who are bent. And then if you look down a little bit, it says here, Rokah haaretz, excuse me, the next one, Hamechin mitzadeh gaver, who has steadied our steps. And then if you are thinking about these, I just want you to keep them in mind, keep them in your hearts for kavanah for when we are reading our Torah portion, okay? So, and also, also the first one on the top of that page, Matir Asurim, who releases the bound. So keep these in mind. We were going to refer to them later when we are reading our Torah portion. So with all of these in mind, we are going to begin our Birchot HaShachar on page 103. Feel free to join me, or just feel free to recite Amen as a confirmation that I have said them on your behalf. Here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasech bibina, lahafchin ben yom uben laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani betzalmo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani bat chovim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, bokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish abrumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefutim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamichim mitzadei gaber. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa li kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael betifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, anoten alaya epoach. Those are our beautiful morning blessings. So I hope that you will keep them in your hearts as we go on and move through here. And again, we'll refer back to them in just a little bit when we get into our Torah reading. Okay, so moving on to Pesukei de Zimra. And Pesukei de Zimra are our songs of praise that continue on to this warm-up period as we get into Shacharit. And we'll continue on page 122. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam baruch hu. Baruch oseh bereshit. Baruch omer ve'oseh. Baruch ozer umchayim. Baruch merachim al haaretz. Baruch merachim al habriot. Baruch meshalem sakar tov lireav. Baruch alad v'kayam lanatzach. Baruch podeh umatzil. Baruch shemo. And now I will invite you to join me on page 136, and we will open and close my favorite part of Pesukei de Zimra, which is Ashrei. And again, paying very close attention to the very opening part of Ashrei. So Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha means to be happy, right? We are happy in those of us who dwell in the house of God are happy. And I want you to also keep that in mind pertaining to today's Torah portion. And moving on to the concluding part of Ashrei is, my mouth utters praise to God, and may all of us continue to do so, that we should all do this as long as we are alive, forever and ever. We will always praise God. And it's a thought of blessing, and it's a thought of being righteous and doing what is good in God's eyes. So we will go ahead and let's read we'll just read the opening part and we'll go to the end. And I'm on page 136. And if a transliteration is helpful to you, I don't know how easy it is to navigate on the PDF, but if you're in a book, an actual physical book, the transliteration is on page 181. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha od yehalelu chasdala. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo. Ashrei ha'am sh'Adonai Elohav. Tehila leDavid haramimcha Eloi hamelech. V'avarcha shimcha leolam va'ed. And we were talking a little bit about this last Shabbos, but my favorite line of Ashrei has always, always, always been the Mem line. Of course, it's an acrostic, so it goes in order from Aleph to Tav, and so there's one for every letter of the alphabet, except, does anybody know? There's one that's missing. There's a letter that's missing. Where are my religious school teachers out there? Does anyone know what's missing? Who knows? It's actually not missing. It's actually hidden. But anyway, I'll let you get to that. You can all search around for that one and see which one is missing. But the one that I love most is the Mem line. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to sing that one. Malachutecha malchut kol olamim, umem shalatecha bechol dor v'ador. And now we'll go to the end where the red caret is. Tihilat Adonai yadaber pihi, vivarech kol basar shim kodsho leolam va'ed. ואנחנו נברכיה מעתה ועד עולם. Hallelujah. Okay, so that's everybody's homework. Either by the end of today's Shabbat service, you have to let me know which letter is not included in the acrostic of Ashrei, or you can let me know next Shabbat. So that's what you can fiddle around with today. All right, so moving on, we are going to go to the Shema, which is found on page 155, and this, of course, is the watchword of our faith, the declaration of our oneness with God and God's connection to us, the people Israel. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. And we'll skip to the third paragraph. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו, זכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen. And we will continue with Micha Mocha, page 158. It's right in the middle in bold lettering. And of course, this is our people's song of freedom. Moses, Miriam, and Aaron, and all of the people of Israel sang this song at the sea on the edge of freedom, on our path towards freedom. And we sing it now to this day. This is our freedom cry. And I love that this is our connection to our ancestors, and that we continue singing this song to this day, every single day when we daven. And it has become our connector, our freedom song. So sing it with me. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, norat tehilot oseh peleh. שיר החדשה, שיר בכל גאולים לשמחה על שפתיים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, צור ישראל קומה בעזרת ישראל, ופדי חינומך יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני Ka'al Yisrael. And we'll take just a moment here for some reflection as we transition to our Torah service. In this expanse of quiet stillness, I reach out and reach in, seeking myself and seeking you. I am grateful for the breath of life, the unending miracles of your creation. And we can say Amen. And we'll transition to our Torah reading, which again you can find in your online resources. And if you're not there already, they are found on our website on bez613.org. And you'll go ahead, first you can click on the Torah and Maftir, and then we'll get to our Haftarah in just a bit. So we have come to the final chapters of the third book of Torah. So we're concluding the book of Leviticus this week with the double portion known as Bahar Bechukotai. And and we've been talking about this again. I think this has now been, 9 weeks maybe, or so that we've been online together for our Chants encounters. And we have, in some ways, I feel like each week we talk about the struggle to read these different sections of Torah, because they are so antiquated in the rules and the regulations and the restrictions in all of the different laws that are associated, given to the Kohanim and the Levites, and the way in keeping the temple and the way our ancestors prayed, in the sense of giving offerings at the temple. We just don't do this anymore, so how do you read it that way? Lots of different laws that we don't abide to in the same manner today. And so we are coming to an end of that section, and we'll be entering the book of Numbers next week, which will see our people journey on in towards the promised land, and the book of Numbers, of course, Bamidbar, it literally means in the desert. So it tells our story as we continue our wandering, and begins with a census of numbers. We're going to take a calculation of who we are. So we'll get to that next time. But we're going to conclude with a series of blessings, and how we abide by these laws of the Torah, and how we will be rewarded, how will we be blessed. And I had referenced our Birchot HaShachar earlier as kavanah for this reading. And one of the reasons why is because what I wanted to focus on in our reading this morning, and I wanted to highlight a few of these lines. So if you're looking, as we look here, it's going to talk about the portion that I chose to read today, was specific. When you start with Leviticus 25 in verse 18, it starts off by saying, "You should observe my laws faithfully and my rules, and you will live in my land with security. And you're going to be able to yield the fruit from it," right? "And you're going to eat, and you're going to do well. Everything will be fine, and you'll live in security, and you'll live in abundance." But there's an if involved in that, right? If you observe my laws and keep your faith, right? It says that you will have the security and the abundance if you fulfill my commandments. And so there is the sense that that you start with that you have these blessings and this trust and this faith in God. But there's also that other side of it, that if you don't, that there will be a consequence, right? There is certainly an implication here that if you don't, that there will be something else that happens. So we don't get into that part in this particular reading, but you should know that there is this sense of blessing if you are a faithful heart. And then I went on to include a little bit down the line here, a little bit later at verse 35. It says here that if your kinsman, and this is an interesting line here, being in straits. And that's a weird translation, but it literally means like to stumble. If they come into a bad situation, meaning like if they have failed in their economic situation, if they have they've fallen into servitude or into poverty, that you should lift them up. And this is a major Jewish tenet, a major form of tzedakah, very high-level form of tzedakah. And I know that it's written in a very odd manner here in the Torah, and it's hard to interpret in this particular way. But this is the source for very high level of tzedakah, of where it talks about lifting one another up. And I was referencing our Birchot HaShachar because it makes me think in those morning blessings where it says that we should be thankful for being, where it says to raise the bent, that we are going to be straightened and that we will be lifted up and that we will have clothes. It says there, that we are, the reason why we're not naked is because we are able to provide for ourselves, to have clothing, and so that we are able to have these basic needs. And so this Torah portion definitely references not allowing our people, our neighbors, to fall, and that it's a greater mitzvah to help somebody get back on their feet before they have fallen, before they are on the ground, that you should help them in the midst of a fall, better that you should help them there and help them get back on their feet rather than let them fall and then help. That it's a greater mitzvah and greater form of tzedakah to do that. So another thing, that this Torah portion tells us is that people are not going to be condemned to permanent servitude and poverty, that there is a vision here to restore some sort of self-respect for those who have lost their way, for those who have fallen to this poverty or to servitude, or who have lost some sense of self-respect or have this now sense of failure, and that there's an obligation to us as their neighbors to help them along the way. There is an interesting, also very interesting piece of a very interesting piece to note that applies here. It's with verse 36 in particular, having to do with the great Rabbi Akiva, which I wanted to also reference. Hold on one second. I wanted to get to this in particular. It says here that if you hold on a second. It's an interesting story that if you are in. I can't find where it is. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay. Right. So it's references to verse 36 that it says it talks about accruing interest from somebody that you let, but you have to fear God. Let them live by your side. They can live next to you, but don't accrue interest. So this became actually the source from a very famous teaching by Rabbi Akiva that says, right, if two men are living in the desert and that there's enough water to keep only one of them alive, that the person who actually possesses and owns the water is allowed to keep the water for themselves, and so that they can drink of the water and keep alive, so that because if both of them were to share it, it says that there wouldn't actually be enough to keep them both alive. So better that one should remain alive than to condemn both of them to die, because if they shared the water, it's clear that both of them would die. So that's how this section works. So it's a very these are very interesting little sections here on how we lift one another up during bad times and don't condemn one another to permanent states of poverty and permanent states of servitude and dire straits. That we should all help each other out when help is needed. And then this is fascinating to me. At the end of this little section here, and this is actually the very end of our year one triennial reading, at verse 38, it says here, a term that, a phrase that we're very familiar with. It says, Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etzchem me'eretz Mitzrayim latet lachem et eretz Canaan, and so forth. It says here, I am God who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. And we've heard that expression many times now as we've been reading Torah. So why does God feel the need to say this after this section? Well, because we too were strangers. We needed help. We were on the ground. We were in servitude. We were in poverty. We had stumbled. We had fallen. And guess what? God lifted us up, and God brought us out of the land of Egypt to be on our way, and God straightened us, and we were on our path towards our freedom and towards our redemption. And so we are living that example, and that's the example that we should give to others. And so it's a nice little reminder at the end that we too were once there, so we too also have to do for our strangers what we have also been given the gift of from higher authority. So our mot here for this concluding section has little to do with this. Again, it's in a different section, of course, doing the triennial reading, but it has to do with tithing. It's somewhat related. It's a mitzvah to tithe, but it talks very specifically about how you tithe. And then, of course, it ends with saying, these are the commandments, do them. Okay, and so it's just another reiteration of this is what you have been told, and you should do them, and you will reap those rewards. So there we go, and then we'll talk a little bit in a moment about the Haftarah. I'm actually going to read from my iPad today because I was thinking maybe after last week's eyesight debacle, I'm thinking maybe I can make this a little bit bigger and easier on my eyes. So we'll see how that goes today. Okay, so join with me. And I will call you up for your aliyah, and you can all join me in the blessing, or simply just give me an amen, and I'll do it for you. Baruch Adonai Hamdorach, Baruch Adonai Hamdorach Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Adonai Hamdorach Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim ve'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. ועשיתם את חוקותיי, ואת משפטיי תשמרו, ועשיתם אותם, וישבתם על הארץ לבטח, ונתנה הארץ פריה, ואכלתם לשובע, ושיבתם לבטח עליה. וחיימוך כפיך ומטה ידו עמך, והחזקת בו גר, ותושב עמך. אל תיקח מאיתו נשק ותרבית, ויראת מאלוהיך וכי אחיך עמך. את כספך לא תיתן לו בנשק, ובמרבית לא תיתן אך לך. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, לתת לכם את ארץ כנען להיות לכם לאלוהים. And here's the maftir. V'chol masar bakar v'tzon kol asher ya'avor tachat hashavet ha'asiri kodesh ladonai lo yavaker ben atov la'ra velo yamiranu v'imhamer yamiranu Dahayahu tmurato ye kodesh lo yikael Ele hamitzvot asher tzivah Adonai et Moshe el bnei Yisrael bahar Sinai. Chazak chazak v'nitchazek. And if you want to, please repeat that after me or type it in. However, chazak chazak v'nitchazek, that we should have all of the strength and effort involved having finished and completed a book of Torah. And we can recite the blessing after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. And you can all give me an amen or a thumbs up or something there. Good. Oh, I think that was better actually. So very nice. There we go. And we're on to our Haftarah. So many times people ask me, where does the Haftarah come from? Like, how do you match them up? I think that we all know here that the Haftarah comes from the books of the prophets. So these are people like Isaiah and Jeremiah and those folks. And today we're reading from Jeremiah. And so it's not, these are not words from Torah. These are words that are from prophets that came after the time of the Torah. Fine, we've established that. So why do we have it? It's paired with with always a Torah portion, and those, by the way, are prescribed. It's a prescription. I didn't make it up. I follow an ancient prescription, and for the most part, they stay the same. There are some exceptions to that in some liberal communities where we might have like alternative haftarahs. But in most cases, there is a set haftarah that goes with the Torah portion. Sometimes people ask me, they're like, well, how did they know? Our sages paired them together for a reason, either because they had the same type of, there was a connection, there was some commonality between the two of them, they maybe had the same teaching, something was relatable between the two. Sometimes, frankly, I can't see that relationship so well in some of the pairings. Today, I think it's a fantastic pairing. So I think that the sages for sure got it right with this pairing. It is one of my favorite readings because it has a very, very beautiful, the portion that I picked out specifically to read is why I love it. So it should make sense, of course, why I'm reading it. But it does talk, of course, about this faith in God and these blessings for those who trust in God. And it is really it's a direct parallel to if you have read the whole portion of Bahar and Bechukotai, it's a direct parallel between the two. And so if you read the whole Haftarah, and I encourage you to do so at some point, it talks about these blessings for those who trust in God, and it talks about what happens for those who don't. And it has Jeremiah, the prophet, here saying, choose the path of blessedness and faithfulness in God, and Torah, and that's the way to do it. Those who don't trust in God, those who don't trust in God are, have this blatant disregard of the divine, and they're focusing foolishly on things that are unimportant. And it says that here, it uses the word very specifically here, futility and worthlessness, that they're focusing on objects of futility and worthlessness, and that that you shouldn't do that. And that's also a reminder of our going back to our Birchot HaShachar, so that when we think of our Birchot HaShachar, we have to think of what is important. It's important that we have our food. It's important that we wake up. It's important that we stand straight and that we are able to see, and that we're able to do all of the things that we get to do, that we're able to breathe. And these objects of futility and worthlessness are actually not meaningful in the grand scheme. And so Jeremiah really points this out in full in this Haftarah. And after all of this, it's also noted in this Haftarah that God knows everything that's inward, right? So whatever you're thinking, whatever you can put on all of the acts that you want outwardly, but whatever is going on inwardly, God still knows. And so the acts of the heart, inward and outward, all your behaviors, that God will still know your true faith. So very interesting. Now, and one more comment. So the very last part, which I've of course included in verse 14, is a very special and beautiful part of this Haftarah. And this is one of those sections of our Tanakh, of our sacred texts, that have made their way into daily prayer. A lot of times also students in particular ask me, where did all the stuff from the Siddur come? Who wrote the Siddur? Well, I mean, the Siddur is made up of, it's patchwork of lots of different sources. And one of the sources is from Tanakh. One of the sources is from someone like Jeremiah. So when you look at our daily Amidah, not the Shabbat Amidah, but the daily Amidah, we pray for healing, and it's a communal prayer for healing. So it's a refa'enu. So the nu at the end implies that it's for all of us, and this is the source of it. So if you look at verse 14, you'll see it says here, this is written in the first person, but it's refa'eni Adonai ve'erafeh hoshi'enu ve'evashea ki tehilati ata. And so it says, heal me, God, and let me be healed. Save me and let me be saved. For you are my glory. And this comes, so this is the direct source for our healing prayers. It became for our daily healing prayers. And so there's it's not directly written exactly like that in that Hebrew, but that's the source for it, that it became a source for our daily healing prayers in our Amidah. So that's where some of these things come from. And there's also a beautiful expression that we also have for God, where Jeremiah refers to God here as Mikveh Yisrael. And I'm sure that many of you have heard the expression mikvah, that you go to the mikvah, and that's a little bit of a bastardization of the word, right? So it's, I mean, more properly in good Hebrew, right? Mikvah. And so here it says Mikveh Yisrael, which means the fountain, the hope of Israel. And then it goes here to say Mayim Chaim, the fountain of waters. And so those two sections are related, and they refer to God as Mikveh Yisrael, the hope of Israel, and then the fount of living waters, that it becomes Mayim Chaim. I'm sure that lots of mikvaot in the country are named Mayim Chaim. There's a famous one with Anita Diamond in the Boston area. And so those are all connected in different ways for referring to God. It comes from this particular Haftarah, so it's definitely one of my favorites. Lots of little famous nuggets going on in this one. Okay, so here's our Haftarah blessing, and here's our Haftarah. I'm going to get it a little bigger for me. There we go. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nbi'im tovim v'varatzah v'divreihem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'b'Moshe hafto u'v'Yisrael amo u'b'nbi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Adonai Uzi Uzi Umnusi Beyom Tzara Elecha Goyim Yavo'u Me'afse Aret Vayomru Ach Sheker Nachalu Avotenu Hevel Vein Bamo'il Haya aselu Adam Elohim Avehema Lo Elohim Lachen Hineni Modiam Bapam Hasot Odiem Et Yadi Et Geburati Veyadu Kishemi Adonai Baruch HaGever Asher Yiftach Badonai Adonai niftacho. Mikveh Yisrael Adonai, kolos v'cha yevoshu, tesurai ba'aretz yikatevu, ki azvu, mekor mayim chayim et Adonai, refa'eni Adonai ve'rafei, hoshi'eni ve'ivashea ki tilati, ata. Baruch al haTorah, v'al avodah, v'al hanaviim, v'al yom haShabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'limnocha lekavod u'letifaret, al hakol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, u'mevarechim otach, yitbarach shemcha b'fi kofai, tamid le'olam va'ed, baruch atah Adonai. Mekadesh Shabbat. Forgive me, I automatically go into that blessing after, and I've been trying to abbreviate things and keep things a little bit concise. Okay, so we are going to now transition to our mourners Kaddish, and those who are observing yard site or who are in mourning. I'm going to ask to please join me, and we are on page 207, and on behalf of the community of Beth-El Tzedek, we are in Shloshim, and send our sympathies still to the family of Dr. Jerome Abrams. And any of those who are observing yard site or still in mourning, please join me and stand, if you will, for the recitation of Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba v'yamad divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehesh me rabba mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha brichu Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushtachata v'nechamata ta'amiran v'yama v'imru amen. Yehesh lama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav v'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. The one who creates peace on high, bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all who dwell on earth, and say Amen. So I'm just now catching up on these comments, and I see that Maura Cheryl, one of our longtime teachers, I know she's retired now, but I know that she has been a teacher for many years, has said that the nun, that for those of you who've been with me the whole time, the nun in Ashrei is the one that is missing, right? So it's not missing, it's actually hidden, and it's hidden in the line after where it should be. So if you actually, if you're with me and you want to go back to page 136 for a moment, I will point that out to you, so that if you are in, so I sang this morning Malchutzacha, which is kind of in the middle, and if you go to the Samech line, which is the next line after Malchutzacha should be Nun, but it's not, it's Samech. So it's Somech Adonai Lefol Ha-Noflim, and that's where the Nun is. And there's an explanation that the nun was left out, or that the nun was hidden, because the nun was identified as the word nafal, which means to fall, to stumble, and it was implied that it was a negative, and that there shouldn't be a negative in this particular psalm, and that it was a word of, that implied negativity. And it wasn't a good word, that we shouldn't appear to be falling, that we shouldn't be noflim, so it was hidden. Cute little thing about Ashrei. All right, so thank you for that, Maura Cheryl, and everybody else who joined on, and good Shabbos, Joel, and to all of those who have joined. And yes, Cheryl, I've adding Joel Kislin, thank you, to we'll add him to our Misha Berach prayers. and put him on the list. So thank you for joining me for Chants and Counters this morning. I hope that you learned some, and have a beautiful Shabbat today. I think that the rain will hold off for a little bit here in Indiana. And I hope that you will join me and the rabbis tonight at 6 p.m. for our Havdalah. I can tell you it's going to be beautiful. I have a really great song for you tonight of inspiration, so please join me for that. And then Monday night, there's a Cocktail Judaism with Rabbi Dennis and Martha Hoover on hunger and the future of the I can't remember the title of it, but it's the hunger and the future of the hospitality business. Thank you for remembering in my head there. So you won't want to miss that. I know that that's also on our minds as we all think about re-entering the world at some point. And lots of good things. And my Tuesday morning sing-alongs at 10:30 are still going on. I haven't decided what my theme is, but I'm thinking it will probably be something maybe American themed, maybe patriotic, because we have Memorial Day coming up. No race day, but Memorial Day. So, okay, Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you on Facebook. We'll see you on Zoom. Shabbat Shalom.